Denzel, a couple weeks in now, still coming off the surgery and everything. How do you feel that your timing with Damon has improved over the first two games?
I feel like it's been good, and I feel like there's still a lot of meat on the bone for us. I feel like we could definitely hit the ground with some more stuff, and but I feel like we're doing a great job together, and I feel like there's only growth that can happen.
When you're able to say that as a team after posting 70 points tonight, how does that make you feel? Just going into a bye week and then Washington State on the other side of that.
It definitely feels great. It definitely gives us a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum, and now we get to get our bodies right over this bye week, and then come back into WSU's house and see what we can do.
With Rashid going down after that
Yeah.
first play. I mean, just how disappointing is it to see that?
It definitely sucks. That's my brother, man. And I feel like we have a certain kind of like bond and connection that we really do have together. I'm gonna call him right after the game. I've already sent the prayer up for him. It definitely sucks, and I hope that we can get him back soon.
What was your view of Desmond's touchdown?
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I looked to my right and he cut, and once he made that cut back cross field, I already knew it was a touchdown. You can see me pointing on film. Like, yeah, that's a touchdown, right corner.
What about all of Jonah's touchdowns? He had pretty good seat in the house for those too.
Everything's not, everything. That's kind of is what we give Jonah the rock. He just makes it happen. You know what I'm saying? And when you got a guy like that in the backfield, anything can happen, and this just adds so much electricity to our offense. I feel like
pretty balanced. You had over 300 yards passing, over 300 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
How good does that feel, kind of, to be able to do it on both sides of the ball?
That feels great. It just shows that we're coming together as a team. Our line's giving great push, and our receivers are also executing at a high level.
Denzel, just 4 years ago,
Yeah.
Montana came in, Big Sky team, and upset the Huskies. Do you remember that? Do you remember what your reaction was when you heard that?
Yeah, I was in the stands. I watched the game. It was unfortunate. It sucked, to watch that happen and everything. But from what I've heard from the past and with the culture, the way the culture was back then, I just don't see that happening with this team. Our culture's a lot different.
Did the Montana word come up at all this week while you're preparing?
Oh,
these
for
guys
sure.
are supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. It came up all week, and we knew that as long as we went in and executed, and we made the game our game, and we made it about us, that there's nothing that can stop us besides us.
What were some of the things that you liked that you saw about some of the young receivers around?
Just explosion. Raiden goes and makes an explosive play. We bring Dez in, and he also makes an explosive play. These cats are explosive, and it's going to add a new dimension to our offense.
Probably already got asked this, but can you tell me about that punt return and just what you saw?
Yeah, coming into the end of the half, it was on my mind. I was just telling myself I'm going to return this punt. You know what I mean? I knew I had the ability, and I'm just glad I got to showcase it tonight. I got to give that to God, just giving me that opportunity. And like I told them earlier, I've always been about special teams. It's important to me. I built my career on special teams when I was a freshman, playing all four phases. So.
Jonas said you shared that idea that you could score on a punt tonight with him.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And he came up to me and was like, take one to the house. I said, you know what? I think tonight might be the night. Going out there at the end of the half, I just felt like it was the time.